Okay, so let's add some functions to the three screens that we've just created: the login, OTP, and user information. So first of all, let's go in our constants and then create some routes. Okay, so let's go move this down, and then up here let's say screens routes. Okay, like that. So first we are going to go like what Copilot is saying here: static const login. So here, instead of that, let's say login screen, and then here we can put a slash in front, and then let's say login screen, like that. Let's continue. Maybe Copilot will know what we want. So it says it knows that we need the OTP screen, then we need the home screen, we need the chat screen, a profile screen, edit profile screen. So let's just let it create all of these, and then what we will need we will keep, what we don't need we won't keep. Okay, so maybe it's fine, these ones that we've got. Maybe let's also add the user information screen there. So let's copy that there and paste it there, and then let's also add the user information screen. Okay, so we can copy that and put it there. So maybe some of them won't need them here, but let's keep everything there for now. Okay, so once we have added these routes here, we can close the constants. Then let's go to the main.dat. Now here, instead of calling home here, what we can do is we can say initial route. So initial route, now let's say login screen.name. Now instead of calling this, we are calling it in our constants. So let's say constants dot login screen, that one. So let's import the constants like that, and then this login screen looks like we are missing the spelling. Let's go back to the constants. We have a login screen with a small error. Okay, so here let's put it like that, login screen. Okay, and then after this login screen, now we can create the routes. Okay, so now here let's put our routes there. So we need to put all the screens that we have that we're going to be routing to. So you can see Copilot is already suggesting. Let's go with it. So this OTP screen, also maybe we are missing the spelling there. So let's go back. It says OTP screen. Let's copy and come back here. Then let's paste that here. This is the OTP screen. Okay, and then which returns the OTP screen. That one we can just add constant keyword here, constant, then user information screen, also let's add the constant keyword, and then the home screen also let's have a constant keyword. So these are the routes that we have put for now. Then we can go ahead and hot restart. You can see that initial route is login screen, which means it will take us to the login screen, which is this one. Okay, so for the login screen, we already know what was happening here. We can close the constants. So in the login screen, once we log in with this method, where is that? Sign in with phone. Let's follow it in our authentication provider. We know that here we need to navigate. Okay, navigate to the OTP screen. So let's say navigator dot push. We need to say dot let's say navigator.of context.pushNamed OTP screen here. Okay, so even Copilot knows here that we're supposed to send these arguments. Okay, so here instead of saying this OTP like this, we don't have something like that. What we have is we can simply call constants.OTP screen. Okay, that is what we have. Let's import the constants, and then this verification ID and phone number, let's also make constants for this. We don't want to be making any mistakes, so let's open up our constant class, and then so we have a phone number. Let's also say static const. Okay, so these users, we are going to need it later on also, so let's not delete it. Let's just copy it, and then maybe up here let's paste that, then go back to the authentication provider and copy that, go back to the constants, paste that, and then also paste it here. So we're going to need the phone number and this, which is what we will call now here. Instead of calling these here, let's call constants dot verification ID, like that. Even here let's call constants dot phone number, like that. So we are navigating here to the OTP screen. Okay, once we've tested this one before, so once we navigate to the OTP screen now, so this login screen is done. We can go now inside the OTP screen, and then here, up here, and then first let's get those arguments up here. Okay, so it should be up here before we get to the scaffold. Okay, so here we can just put the comments, get the arguments, and then Copilot will get them for us. So it's going to do like that, and then let's come down here. It's going to put the verification ID, it's going to put the phone number here, you can see. And then now here also, let's not call this, let's call from our constants dot verification. So let's import the constants verification ID, and then also here we are going to call constants dot phone number. Okay, so that's how we are receiving the arguments. Let's maybe put a space there. So now this phone number, we can come here where we're putting this dummy phone number and then use that phone number. Now we are going to display the correct phone number, and then here now we need to create this method to verify the OTP. So first let's go inside the authentication provider. Right after this method, let's create another method now to verify the OTP code. So let's see what Copilot will do. So there is a code from Copilot. Let's go ahead and press tab, then let's go through it and see if this code is correct, and then we'll go with it. So what's happening here is it's sending over the verification ID, the OTP, and the context. So first it's setting the is loading here to true, so that we can start seeing the loading icon, and then now it says credential auth provider dot credential, and then it's sending the verification ID and then also the OTP. All this is correct, and then after that is done, what is doing is going to sign in the user here. Is going to sign in the user, and then after it signs in the user, it now updates the user on top, and then also update it updates the user from the user that is getting here because it's signed in, and then also the phone number that it's getting from the credentials, and then it's setting it successful, stops the loading, and then it also shows the error. Okay, so now here maybe we can check if this is successful. What? Okay, it's already checking here, because if it fails here, that's why it's saying catch error here. This will be false, and then it's going to show the snack bar. So it looks like everything here is fine. We don't need to change anything. Copilot is just doing everything as we want to do them here. So this method is correct. I don't see any problems here. So now this verify OTP method is done. We just need to call it inside our OTP screen. But maybe let's add some more things here just to make sure that we are successful here. Even if here we are calling successful to true, we can either use this or we can also call our own function up here. So what we can do is maybe let's put our function here. Let's put the required function, which will be on success. Okay, on success. Okay, so we are not going to use this one here because what we want is the function that is going to be called inside the OTP screen. Okay, so maybe our on success function can be called here on success. Okay, and then here it's a failure, we don't need to call it. So this will just be waiting. If it is successful, it is going to be called. Now we can leave this method like this and then go back to the OTP screen. So in the OTP screen, where is that? So we need to call that method here, but let's make a separate method. Maybe here let's make that separate method. Let's say void verify OTP. So okay, Copilot knows what is going on here. So let's hit tab. So we don't want to make all of this method, because the method that we want to make here, it will call this verify OTP code. Okay, so what we'll do here we are going to pass the string, which is a OTP, and then verification ID, only these things that it will pass. And then now in this method, first of all, let's remove everything that Copilot has put inside here. So here first, let's go our auth provider, final auth provider. This will be equals to, let's say, we can call it like that, or we can say context .read authentication provider. So let's import this provider package, import that, and then here now we're going to say auth provider verify OTP. Okay, so we're going to pass that. Let's bring that down, and then bring that down. Here on success, that's our function that we called. That's what we want. That's where we want to do things here. So let's put a comma and then do that. So and then close it like that. So in here on success, we can navigate to the home screen like this direct, but we don't want to do that. First, we need to check what is going on in the database. So if we finish loading the OTP, we don't want to, we can go direct to the home screen or to the user information screen. So if the user, it's the first time they are using they are logging into the application, they will need to go to the user information screen and put data. If it's not the first time, they will need to go to this home screen, because we know that if it's not the first time, they already have data in Firestore. So to know if it's not the first time, if it's the first time, here that's where we need to check. So let's remove this, and then let's add some comments of what we're going to do here. So number one, we're going to check. So check if the user exists in Firestore. Copilot knows our code. So after we check if the user exists, number two, here, if the user exists, we have to navigate to home screen. Okay, that's if number one is true. Okay, and then number three, let's just be putting this, maybe Pilot knows. Okay, so if the user does not exist, navigate to user information screen. Okay, so great, this is exactly that we are going to do. So here, if the user exists, we're not just going to navigate. Here we're going to do something like let's do this star like this. So get user information from Firestore. Then after we get user information from Firestore, then here let's we're going to save user information to provider. Okay, you see, that's exactly what we're going to do. We check if the user exists. If the user exists, we're going to get that data in Firestore and save it to provider. So here, instead of provider, let's save it to provider / shared preferences. Okay, so that now we can access the data anywhere locally in our application, the new data that we've just collected. So if user does not exist, we are just now directly going to navigate to the user information screen, so that now we put this user data in Firestore, and then after that we go to the home screen. So let's create first this method to check if the user exists in Firestore. Okay.